The music speaks to something so human that even the people who hold you underneath their boot can't help but sing along.
This music just connected. When we first came to New York, the Apollo was the first place we wanted to go.
That's just a taste of the new HBO documentary, The Apollo, a look back at the 85-year history of the theater that's been the cultural hub of Harlem. The world-renowned venue became famous not just for hosting music legends and cultural and political icons, but for Amateur Night, which launched countless careers. Still, that glorious past could not prevent the Apollo from nearly going under. A story of struggle told by those who lived it.
This is our wall of legends. Everyone up here has performed here over and over again to sold-out houses.
If you want the story of the Apollo Theater,
Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington, they all played.
You've got to get the skinny from this man. You are living history?
I've literally watched history being made.
Billy Mitchell has been a wallflower here for 54 years.
I'm the Apollo ambassador, officially.
He's even written a book about it. From the Wall of Legends to the Tree of Hope, a good luck tree stump performer's rub. He's just about seen it all.
I ran errands for a group that Berry Gordy had brought here. It was a tour called the Motown Review.
The Review?
Yeah.
Stop hurting me. Like the Supremes,
The Supremes,
Smokey Robinson.
Smokey, Martha Reeves, the Vandellas, Marvin Gaye, and this very energetic, visually impaired kid by the name of Little Stevie Wonder.
His memories and those from dozens of others.
I couldn't believe that there wasn't a documentary about the Apollo already.
Were mined for historical treasure by Oscar-winning filmmaker Roger Ross Williams.
It was an overwhelming task. How do you condense 85 years into 90 minutes? I realized that our music lifted us out of oppression.
Originally a theater for burlesque, the rebranded Apollo opened on January 16, 1934, and catered specifically to African Americans, billing itself as a place where stars are born and legends are made.
We use the music and art to sort of voice our pain, our struggle as Black people. And that was the way I wanted to tell the story of the Apollo, to put it in context of what was going on in Harlem and what was going on in America, and how the music, from Billie Holiday singing Strange Fruit, which was a protest song, and the only place she could sing that song is on the stage of the Apollo, all the way to James Brown singing I'm Black and I'm Proud in 1968, a tumultuous year in America. So that was how I was going to tell the story.
Telling that story includes some pretty infamous tales.
Ella Fitzgerald was the first. She rubbed this? She rubbed this in 1934. Ella Fitzgerald was actually the first female to win Amateur Night at the Apollo.
From Ella's debut, which launched the precursor to our modern-day star searches.
It's showtime at the Apollo.
Everybody watched Showtime at the Apollo.
To the man who created Amateur Night, in-house producer Ralph Cooper. Owner Frank Schiffman hired the African-American innovator to reel in talent. And as the documentary shows, reel in he did.
The Apollo, it was more like a university.
It was like going to school when Gladys and I played the Apollo Theater. I learned how to be gracious to the audience.
What also comes out, just how hard the job was.
5 shows a day.
29 shows a week.
And how little it paid.
Mr. Shipman called Barry and told him he wanted his money back. He wasn't really paying us any money. We couldn't even get out of the hotel with the money he was paying us.
Which allowed for its success and ultimately its downfall. Former owner Bobby Schiffman.
Gladys Knight, the first time I ever played her, I paid her $800 for she and the Pips for 31 shows. The last time I played her, I paid her $80,000 for 16 shows.
Low capacity bankrupted the institution by the mid-1970s. A 1,600-seat facility just couldn't compete with larger venues.
If you drove by, you wouldn't even know that the Apollo was alive and operating.
Janelle Procope became executive director of the Apollo after New York media magnate Percy Sutton failed with his grand plan to revive the theater in the early 1990s. Her partner in rebuilding, former Time Warner chairman Dick Parsons. Together, they came up with the innovative idea to turn a for-profit business into a nonprofit cultural center.
Music will always be at the core of what we do, but we're doing theater, we're doing dance, we're doing comedy. And the beauty of that is that's something that's affordable for the community, so people can say, oh, what do I want to do tonight? Oh, I think I'm going to go to the Apollo.
Which is where Roger Ross Williams decided to start his film.
And I was like, okay, that's it. That's the hook.
So we are here working and developing Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates.
In 2017, Ross Williams captured rehearsals for the production of a dramatic reading of Coates' memoir. Then eventually, they took it on the road.
And think of how Prince's daughter was now drafted into those...
I wrote Between the World and Me because my friend Prince Jones was murdered in 2000.
Son, I write you in your 15th year. This was the year you saw Eric Gardner choked to death for selling cigarettes.
This reading is a blueprint of what may come for projects in the Apollo's future.
Think about this. There is no other performing arts center in the country that focuses on the African American narrative, telling our stories. So Between the World and Me, that's the beginning of the future.
I give tours here every day.
But for Billy Mitchell, the foundation will always be this stage.
Talking about my girl, my girl. So there's James Brown, Dionne Warwick, and that's Otis Redding. Yes. Sitting in the morning sun. There you go.
The legends who made it here and the talented people who continue to break ground. Including...
I'm going to have you sign your name on the wall.
Really? A few newbies.
Oh, Michelle, girl.
You heard it here, baby.
Ooh, Eminem in the building.
Hello.
Hello.
There it is, baby.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Right above Bono's name.
You got to sign your name.
I was up on stage.
That's hot.
And singing.
I saw
and
singing. It was good singing.
What's so great about this place is everyone has played that stage, from Bono to Paul McCartney to Barack Obama. It's open to everyone. And what's really awesome is the future she was talking about. They have, they're in the process of building 2 more theaters right next door in the same block in a building where the old Victoria Theater was. Cool. Nice. It's going to be just a cultural experience for so many people in that neighborhood.
In those walls, on that stage.
Yes, and the documentary film, The Apollo, is available now on HBO.